Okay, so CNN did a study into a website called motherless.com, and it is quite shocking. So basically, this is the study here. We're not going to read the whole thing, but I just want to cover the one particular part that made people go crazy across social media, which is the website, which had around 62 million visits in February alone, and whose core audience is in the United States, describes itself as a moral free file host where anything legal is hosted forever. Here's basically what happened. So there's this porn site called motherless.com, which I never heard of until this article came out. But basically, it's a porn site. And like all porn sites, it has like 100 different porn categories. But there were two categories that were dedicated to, let's just say, R-ing or having sex with women who are unconscious, either because they were simply sleeping or because they were drugged to be unconscious. And that's what this article was about. They found that the website got 62 million hits across the entire site. Not specifically those two categories, but the entire website during the month of February. And CNN got a lot of hate for this article across social media because people were deliberately misinterpreting what the article said, lying about it, and then CNN were the ones to take the flack for it, which is quite wild. I mean, I know people hate the mainstream media, but this study was actually good, but CNN wasn't lying. It literally says right there 62 million visits. It didn't say 62 million men. But people across social media were saying, "Oh my god, 62 million men? I knew it. That's like half the men in the United States. I knew all men were rapists." And it's like, no, that's not even what CNN said. Why are people misinterpreting? So here's the truth. It's not even close to 62 million men. Here's the reality. It's a porn site. That means there's over 100 different categories. Only two categories were geared towards these sick individuals. There are probably hundreds of thousands of videos all across the entire website. Apparently, the amount of videos that are specifically about these two categories is 20,000. And I'm not saying 20,000 is a small amount. It's way bigger than it should be. It should be zero. But it's small when you look at the entire website, which probably has a couple 100,000 videos. And the videos that this is about, the ones in those two disgusting categories, apparently the peak was about 50,000 views per video. So, it's about 50,000 for some of those particular videos, and it doesn't even mean that all 50,000 are these disgusting men. Some could just be random people who clicked the video by accident in like the recommended or something like that, sent by a friend. It could be anything. But apparently, the approximate number of individual men who are watching this is like 2,000. Now, that's 2,000 too many, but it's way less than 62 million. So let's get the numbers accurate because I hate people who misinterpret shit. It's 62 million views across the entire website. All videos, not just these two categories. For all viewers on all videos for the entire month. Okay? Not 62 million men. 62 million views. And I do wonder why people are going so crazy over this. I mean, I'm not saying this isn't disgusting. It fucking is. But when I say I'm wondering why people are going so crazy, is because people already believe the stats to be worse than this, but yet are reacting less. And I do think there's a reason, and I think the reason is disingenuous, and I'll explain. So basically, a lot of people genuinely believe that the real R stats are 1 in 4 women. Now, this stat is fake. It was debunked over 10 years ago. Let me reiterate for those of you who don't remember. And by the way, I do have a video called Debunking Rape Culture. It's an FTR. Please watch it because I debunk all of this stuff. But basically, in my video and what we learned over a decade ago, was that the 1 in 4 stat was actually a college campus survey which included consensual drunk sex as well as other factors that simply are, and they said, oh well, I guess 25% of all women were raped, and it was simply not true. The 1 in 4 is not true. But let's pretend, for the sake of playing devil's advocate, that it is true. That would mean that 25% of all women get ARD, which is not true. But if it was, that would actually be worse than what this article is showing. So why are people so mad about the article? It's literally showing something that's not as bad as what people already thought. Which makes me believe that people technically knew that the 1 in 4 was a fake stat, but were running with it because it allowed them to hate on men, and that's what society does. Society hates on men. They will take any stat, even if it's completely fake, or make it up entirely, just for the purpose of hating men and not giving a fuck about the factors or truth behind it. But the fact that people are more angry about this kind of goes to show me that people knew that the 1 in 4 stat was full of crap, but just ran with it for the purpose of a reason to hate men without caring if it's true or not. Because if we look at percents, 2,000 men, approximately, out of 150 million men in the United States converts to like 0.0000001%. That's much lower than 25%, isn't it? So, there you go. People believe that the stats used to be 25%. So, clearly, people, to an extent, knew it was bullcrap, but just didn't care. And here's what I really hate, is the hypocrisy of the whole thing. And I'm not saying that these 2,000 men, or whatever the real number is, aren't disgusting. I personally think we should actually use their accounts on the website to find those guys' IP addresses and throw them in fucking jail. I honestly believe that. But, for the sake of facts, I'm still going to call out the hypocrisy. Because things like this are called out. And they should be. But still, to this day, all the things that affect men are still ignored and never called out. Did you know that the consensual drunk sex statistic actually proves that if a woman and a man agree to consent and they're both drunk, but the woman, after she sobers up, changes her mind and says, oh my god, I didn't really want to have sex, I was just drunk, she can accuse the man of R-ing her, even though they were both drunk. But he can't accuse her of raping him. Only she can. And no one cares about that. Did you know that if a woman rapes a man for his sperm, she's legally allowed to do that? A man can't actually charge a woman for doing that. Did you know that there are trends all across social media? I'm not saying that there are like groups of this, like this one, although to be honest, there probably are, but no one cares. I'm personally willing to bet, because I know that I see it in the comments section of videos on like TikTok and stuff. So I'm willing to bet there are also groups of women who will literally discuss things like, oh, I jumped on my man while he was sleeping and started riding him. I sucked his dick while he was sleeping and made him hard. I abuse my man. Like, we know that abuse is severely promoted across social media. I mean, videos of women getting abused are taken down, as they should be. But videos of men getting abused, nothing happens. Not only do these videos stay up, but they often get promoted, and the comments section is filled with comments like, yeah, girl, do your thing, he must have done something horrible, he definitely deserves it, and all this kind of shit. We see this kind of stuff all the time, but no one fucking cares. We know that domestic violence is initiated by women 70% of the time. We know that domestic violence, the rates used to be 50-50, and now it's actually around like 52-48, meaning that men are domestic abuse victims more than women, but no one cares about that. We see advertisements all the time about homeless women, even though most homeless people are men. We see things all the time about how women are depressed or suicidal, despite the fact that 80% of suicides are men. We see trends all the time about how a woman is just doing her thing by taking advantage of a man for sex, or using a man for sex. You know, if a man spikes a woman's drink at a bar, he's a creep because he is. But yet if a woman does it, it's just her being a woman. It's just her being fun and partying. Yay! You can't deny these facts. Let's look at elites. We all know that, of course, pedophilia is rampant in Hollywood, but in terms of public stuff, there's tons of it, but I'll give you one example. Remember when Katy Perry assaulted Justin Bieber on stage, and the reaction was to just laugh and poke fun at it? But we know that if you reverse the genders, it would be mainstream news for months, and it would be viewed accurately. It would be disgusting. Oh, how dare this man assault this woman? We see this all the time. This is very common when it comes to these, Hollywood elites, but it's only talked about when it's a man doing it to a woman. But if a woman does it, people just say, oh, well, it's just funny and cute, let it go. Again, we see this constantly, this constant fucking hypocrisy. It is a literal social media trend to assault men or hurt men, abuse men, or even are men, and people just view it as a funny online trend and a woman who knows what she wants. Let her do it. She's a queen. How about when it's a woman and a male child? The articles are always written as adult teacher has sex with male student. Adult teacher makes love to a male student. They never use the word "are" or molest if the predator is a woman. Never. But if it's a male teacher with a female student, then the article will always use the word "are" or molest, which is accurate. But if the predator's a woman, they won't use those words. Even the mugshot, like when they show the predator's face in the article, they always show the man's disgusting mugshot from the prison. But when it's a female predator, they will literally take a glamorizing picture of her from her Instagram page. You can't deny it. Female predators, whether if they have assaulted their partners or they're preying on young male students, they are always glamorized. And the men are always put down, being told oh, you should be happy that she would even want you. Hey man, you had sex. What are you so unhappy about? She was the nice one giving you the sex that you wanted, right? And if you don't like it, well then you must be gay. Men are not only assaulted as well, and it's a trend to do so on social media. But if he doesn't like it, he's shamed for it, which also makes men not come forward when it happens. I am not defending the men from this article. Fuck them to hell. But but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna call out the fact that society promotes it and protects it when women do the same thing. I'm willing to guarantee that there are groups online of women who talk about and discuss and celebrate doing these types of things to their husbands. But no one cares because they're women. And that is a societal fact. Fuck these men. But fuck you if you're a gigantic hypocrite who can't look at the other side of women doing similar things to men and brushing it off just because men like sex too much. Fuck you if you are one of those gigantic hypocrites, because I hate you. I hate men like this, and I hate the women who are going to ignore the women who do the same thing. If you're one of those women in the comments of a TikTok video of a woman who said, yeah, I beat my man yesterday, or yeah, I sucked my man's dick while he was sleeping, you're a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, because you're the exact same as these guys. And yes, it happens all the fucking time. Society just ignores it. There's literal TikTok trends based on this. Anyway, that's what really bothered me about this.